Bernie Sanders was going to give a talk at a rally at the University of Washington, and I don't know how, I think it was like literally before he could even speak. I've heard that he spoke for about a minute. Some Black Lives Matters activists came and disrupted it, and he allowed them to talk for some amount of time, and then he tried to sort of, I guess, cut in and say supportive things about the movement and about how what he wants to do to sort of address their concerns and things like that. And they wouldn't let him talk, and apparently some were shouting out to the crowd that they're all white supremacists and racists and everything. And this is kind of a complicated issue because, like, if you're against them interrupting the speech, you're portrayed as being against the movement or against Black America, and I don't think that that's really fair. Now, I obviously have been in about a bajillion videos on the Young Turks where we try to cover police brutality and things of that sort. We try to, I think, do what we can possibly do to help as the Young Turks in terms of spreading the stories of what has happened and making sure that their concerns are heard and stuff like that. So I don't think that you can claim that I'm not supportive of the movement. But Bernie Sanders' rally is not their rally. It's Bernie Sanders' rally. And so it's frustrating, especially when he let them talk for a while. He has no obligation to let any activist group talk for even a minute. But they continue to cut him off. And so here's the issue. Saying that they can't interrupt him is not saying that they don't have legitimate concerns. They do have legitimate concerns. But I can come up with a list of 20 different groups that have legitimate concerns that most people would not be in favor of them shutting down a political rally to interrupt. Even when it's liberal, I don't, like, this is a liberal progressive organization. I don't want them, it's his rally. And you could go a little bit farther. Okay, if it's okay for them to interrupt his talk, should they interrupt every political speech? Should they interrupt weddings? Should they interrupt high school graduations? Like, should they go into a theater and interrupt the show? Like, there is a time and a place, and you can't just have every legitimate grievance take over the stage for, especially when you're interrupting someone who is probably pretty receptive to your message if you were to deliver it in a different way, to perhaps meet with him, speak with him, something like that. Ignopia says Bernie Sanders probably supports everything they're saying as well. Yeah, and look, I understand that their objective is to get him to think more about it, and maybe this will lead to him being more vocal about their concerns. So I guess to that extent, they will have accomplished their goal, but I don't think this is the way. I don't think that you should be interrupting people's speeches and rallies and stuff like that. Even when liberals do it to Republicans, I don't think it's generally a good idea. When they throw shoes at presidents, I know that was in Iraqi, I don't generally think that is a good idea.